We can edit all this shit out. I'm upset.
I got one Dewey dribble shit.
Did anyone hear that? My mum's got a name for this show. Dewey dribble shit. Dribble shit. You coming on a show, Mum, or what? No.
No.
True shame.
She's just grumpy. She chips people all the time.
Yeah, Olympic gold medalist in judo, chip people. That's why we don't talk back. That's what I thought. She walked away then. Hello everyone, this is Dewey's Debrief. Oh, we're not. See what I meant?
Dewey's dribbles.
Oh, I was going to dribble shit. Well, we are dribbling shit, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, so,
Mostly
yeah,
do.
we're not sure on the name. We could end up being dribbling shit. We don't know. But, yeah, this show is going to be just a platform to spread some ideas. Hopefully we can get some, like, local celebrities. We actually know some, you know, people that do some very elite things, either music or sport or, you know, I know a couple camera people, some DJ people, you know, but not a certainty. Don't want to name drop because, yeah, it's up to them. Don't want to bring it up. Just to start off, we currently study mental health at Mount Woodage. Name drop. True.
Nice.
But it's I hope this is a platform where you can just express current ideas, you know, tackle local problems. Like we come from Perth, Peachey's from up north. You can get into that later, and just tackle individual issues. Just a warning though, if anything does get too private or too personal, we're gonna cut it. But we do want to be part of the One Take family. So if we can get this in one take, this is where it's at.
Yeah.
But yeah, in saying that, straight off the bat, this is a comedy show. So we're gonna laugh, we're gonna bullshit. Anything we do say about mental health is about our mental health, and we're just expressing those emotions as we go. So yeah, this is gonna be for working out material, expressing ourselves. Hopefully we can get some other people to talk about themselves, stuff like that.
Yeah, and seeing like a positive side, and you know, like just to have a bit of a laugh, but not a dig at anyone personally or anything, but just to kind of make it into a kind of positive situation where you can have a bit of a laugh and look back on yourself and see how far you've got now.
Yeah, just because as we're learning about this stuff, a lot of men seem to use comedy as a fail-safe to express their emotions, you know what I mean? Like, it's, like, I don't know, there's plenty of stories, like people talk about being broke all the time, but if that is an issue, that's a light way to just chip off that anxiety, you know? Well, now people know I'm broke. I said a quick joke about not having money. You know, now people seem to get my situation, like, but yeah, it's just like, I don't know. That's what the show's about, digging into that stuff.
Then also having a laugh and seeing something positive, and where people feel comfortable to open up and speak out about mental health as well. Yeah, so it's a safe and a happy place, and kind of like a getting comfortable in not really a biased situation where it's very non-judgmental, but it may come across as that, but sometimes it's just our banter between us, but we also know it's not very personal.
Yeah, it's just us expressing ourselves, getting stuff off our chest in that comedic fashion. As we do want to be stand-up comedians. You know, I competed in Melbourne Deadly Funny this year. Great experience. We'll get into that later. But, yes, where should we start? So why do we want to do this comedy show, Kaine?
Why do you want to do it?
Why do I want to do it? Because, like, I've always wanted to be a comedian. Like, it's always been in that back burner. You know, I've other dreams, but like, I got into. Mum had a a videotape of yeah, a videotape. SUV. It's an SUV tape. It's an SUV tape, and you put it in that big garage box, and you press the button.
You do the start.
You press the start button and it turn on like that. But yeah, my mum's a big fan of Lenny Henry, a British comedian, and we used to have the SUV tapes. And yeah, I used to replay that shit over and over and over, and it was like, it was so good. It was to a point where I don't know if I could be that good, but it was something I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Especially with his style of comedy, he does characters, sketches, bit of songwriting, and like it's awesome, man. Like, I'd love to go to a show, bro.
Yeah.
Like, who's your favorite comedian?
My favourite, probably Eddie Murphy.
Eddie?
Yeah. I have a few.
Yeah?
Pardon me. Yeah, I have a few. Eddie Murphy, obviously, I don't know, he was like one of the first ones I watched. I remember watching it on SUV tape.
SUV tape, bloody.
Just
Had that cruise control.
yeah, on a video, I found it. I don't know. We obviously had the videos, and it was Eddie Murphy Delirious.
Yeah.
That was one of my favourite, just because it was right out there. Obviously, you know, I've seen like the old Dr. Doolittles and stuff like that, where he was a familiar person, but it was just
I love Daddy Daycare.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm a bit younger than you, so Daddy Daycare was like when I was a bit little, but I love
Yeah.
that, bro.
Yeah, all that type of stuff. So that was kind of, and I recognised him. And then I heard him talk about what he did most of his skits there. First time he done like stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
He said he pretty much went around doing stuff what Richard Pryor did. So Richard Pryor was like, and I was like, at that point, that's kind of what made me look into other comedians. So Richard Pryor, I was like, oh, you know, like, fuck, who's this dude he talks about? And then I've seen again, he's also in other movies. You know? So like he does one movie and it's Hear No Evil, See No Speak No.
Yeah, with that Gene Wilder.
Yeah, and one's blind,
one blind, one deaf.
And
Like, oh.
that's a good one. Like, they kind of team up and work together. He uses his sight and he uses the ears, obviously. But
there's one scene where they're trying to drive, one blind, one deaf. You check it out, fucking check it out.
It's a good movie. And yeah, so that there, I watched a bit of his. Well, not really watched. It was more like, I don't know how I heard it. I think it was a tape. I bought it from, you know, when you used to.
True,
get
you that old tapes on comedy on tape. Like.
Yeah, they had them on tape and stuff like that. And I remember, oh no, it might have been a CD. Yeah, I'm not that old. But
you put that out there. No, I'm not that old. Not that old.
Yeah, so I had a lot of that, like, CD. I remember seeing it at a shop one day, and I was like, "Mum, can I get this?" And she's like, "You don't even know what." I was like, "He's a comedian. He's funny." I just said he was funny because Eddie Murphy loved him, and I was like, "Fuck, Eddie Murphy's funny as fuck." Yeah. So that was maybe one of my highlights or one of the things that stood out and got me drawn into comedy of that, like liking it, and like obviously when I was like, I used to think I was funny.
Yeah.
You know, and I was always like, I could do that. But now that we speak about it, I'm like, ooh, I'm a bit nervous to try it, but very interested in it. Like,
yeah, but like, no, I'm not trying to up myself, but you roll with the big dogs, man. Like, I'm the younger brother of the group. Like, Kaine's actually one of...
sister.
Younger sister of the group, according to this bloke. Got to adjust my bra there. But, yes. And like, comedy was a way for me to like be one with the bigger brothers, you know, like, cause they were always joking, having a laugh, you know, stuff like that. And if I said like a killer line, I knew I'd be in with the group, you know, like make his laugh. That was, if I could make the older brothers laugh, it was cool. I was in, you know, like, so, but I loved like, that's where my comedy comes from. Like, I love making people laugh because that's not what like made me get into the group, but how you's joked around with each other, you know, like the relationship you had with Bobby and fucking like Cheeky, you know, that back and forth.
Well,
that
each
bounce
person's
back,
different as well, so it's always like we know which ones to shit stir. Like a lot of it is a lot of shit stirring and giving each other a bit of shit.
Yeah, and that's probably where our comedy best comes from, you know, where our best comedy comes from. Yeah. Not where our comedy comes from, but where the best punchlines come from, because we're bouncing back and forth. We've already gotten rid of the easy stuff. Now we're really trying to up the ante, you know, what's going to be funny, what's going to hit them sweet spots, you know?
Yeah, and that's another thing where I find that they're doing that with my boys. Like, obviously, we have that whenever we felt like something, you know, we'd like, kind of like in a sense, it's like a debrief, and you have that little heart-to-heart moment with your brothers, and then you have that serious part,
Why so seriously?
yeah. So that serious part where, you know, your brothers are there for you, they listen, they talk to you about it, and either give their information. If they don't have it, sometimes they, you know, or sometimes what I do sometimes if I feel it getting too emotional, I hate seeing my brothers down, so I always throw shit back in their face, like, oh yeah, like that time when this and this, and just like, I throw shit in their face.
Remind them of a funny time, you know?
But I'll like throw something nasty that happened to them, but then try and make a funny side where it gives them a bit of a smile, but also that comfortability.
My brother and Kaine's actually got a good bit about a joke he always says when I'm down. Like, I'll come around their place or whatever, and before we say hello, he'll be like, hey.
Yeah.
And that comes from when, like, my brother was learning to drive or whatever, and, you know, a bunch of boys in the car, you know, with their mum. Learning to driving around, you know, trying to be cool. But yeah, one of the bros was like, hey, you know, shout out to them girls, you know, say something. And I was the youngest at the time. Go on, do it. And I was like,
get the yours for us.
Hey.
It wasn't more like a hey, it was like, hey. And we're like, bro, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing?
I was like, if you wanted the girls, you could have fucking said something.
He's a little cute, chubby brother, you know, little cutie of the group. So we were kind of like, oh, we'll get him in, and he might bring him over to us. But he just wrecked it, and they probably just thought it was a car of faggots. Like, you know.
Can't say that word, Kaine.
Well, you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, no, bunch of sissy boys. You can't say that word.
Sissy girl. Nah. You know, only if you had your man bun then.
Oh, yeah, if I had the man bun, because I got long hair, man bun.
But yeah, so, yeah, like, yeah, it was a good little, we always tease him. It was quite funny. So,
it's how it goes, that's what happens when you have older brothers.
Pick on the little brother, but then you also, you do anything for him. So, but, yeah.
So, like, was comedy your first option? Was this something you've always, as we
always
just
wanted
talked
to,
about,
like,
always got into?
A lot of it, I think comedy is kind of like my escape. When I'm feeling down, I put on something funny.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and like recently, went through a bit of shit and crap, like all that, but won't get into that now, but a lot of it, I've been watching a lot of comedy and stand-up, obviously, lately, and especially after you actually going away and speaking of Fabian and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, he was talking like, give it a crack, like, yeah, give it a go, and, you know,
Yeah,
had a good laugh,
man.
and just, you know, the banter we had that night when we were all sitting here having a yarn, you know.
Yeah, just yarning
talking
about it,
this
like,
situation, and you going away just before that. It kind of like, it was intriguing, you know. I was kind of like, I want to get into it. Like, I wouldn't mind giving it a crack.
And like, just in my experience, it really built up quick because I did the Fremantle. Like, I put the email in, and you know, they slowly got back to me. Heard the date, yeah, went there, did all, did the workshop. You know, great experience at the workshop. Worked with Derek Nannup, Fabian Woods, and yeah, got to mingle with the other comedians there. You know, they really brought me in. You know, level. I was smoking like a fucking train, bro. I took a pouch there. I probably only had 2 smokes left. Yeah, bro. Like, I was giving them out, but I was smoking them just as much as I was giving them, man. But like, they really banged me down, and like, this was in the green room was outside or whatever, so we could have a smoke and all that. Like, smoking's at your own risk, you know. That's not everyone should do it. I've actually got asthma, so I probably shouldn't do it. But Kaine actually doesn't smoke at all.
No, I don't.
Why don't you smoke? Just never.
I don't know, I've tried it a few times, and like being like, when we're drinking with a couple of the boys, like I remember.
Yeah, well that's how I started.
I tried to do like, you know, I kept seeing people like smoke and blow rings. I was like, I want to have a turn, and I learned how to do it. And then I also learnt where you get a cigarette holder on the right angle and you just push it back and forward, and it makes rings anyway. Yeah. So I was like, oh well, fuck.
The electric.
I don't know. The taste is terrible. It's like,
yeah, horrible.
Pretty much put an ashtray in your mouth. Like, eat the ash. That's what it tastes like. Yeah. And then it feels like it leaves a lining on your tongue. Like, afterwards, like, you feel like you still taste it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And
definitely.
I've had girls, obviously that I used to be with years and years ago,
Yeah,
where
when
they were
dinosaurs
smoking.
were up, meteor come down. That's the first smoke they had. They rolled a
that's-
meteor up.
And that's how she died. Meteoroid. Yeah. Nah, yeah, that's where I first witnessed her smoking.
Yeah.
Literally baking under the meteoroid. When smoke started pouring out. Nah. And then we had barbecue that night. Me
Was
and
it
my new
good?
girlfriend. No.
Was it good?
Yeah,
Barbecue
it was great.
sauce?
Yeah.
True.
Hey, bro. But yeah. So just the taste. Yeah, mainly the taste. How you roll?
What's happening? That's my brother Derek. Hopefully he'll be on the show. But he's
He's going.
going to sleep at the moment. Works hard, pays the bills. Cheers, brother.
Yeah, pay mine next week. No, but yeah.
True, throw us off now. We had a good roll.
Yeah, we had a good roll, but we got so yeah, pretty much the cigarette taste we were talking about.
Yeah,
just the
cigarettes.
taste. I'm not the
Not a big
smell and the taste, and yeah, not a big fan.
Yeah.
But like, to be honest, if we would have obviously had drinks and then you know me, I always get messy and loud, and I'm the person who comes up with the stupidest ideas like in a group. Like somebody like try that, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll do it. Like yeah, straight out. Like,
Yeah, I'll give it a crack.
and then
I'll give
it's
it a crack.
See if you can smoke a cigarette backwards and light the filter instead. You know, like, and then I'd be the dude who'd go, yeah, I'll try it. Like,
Yeah.
And then cop the filter taste.
Yeah, just out of shits and giggles, man.
Yeah, because
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna say I wasn't peer pressured into it, but you know, like as you said, you see the boys smoking. Like when you're having a drink, and I'd go over and I'd ask for a smoke, just to like mingle. I'm a social smoker sort of thing.
yeah,
And then yeah, I just sort of picked it up from there, and a few things happened. Like you know, went for a hard breakup, and so it was a way to release, give that quick head rush to slow it down, and but. Other than that, there is no benefit. Even if you do get that, that's good. If you
See,
don't
I
get
don't
it, there's no reason to smoke them.
I've never had that head rush. Obviously, I think what they call it is it bum puffing, where you don't inhale when it goes down.
It
like
sort of just stays up here and messes with you.
well, I don't really I just do the old, and it doesn't like go anywhere past there. It's just suck it in and leave it in your mouth and blow it from there. It's
Yeah.
like doesn't. I'm not inhaling.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to inhale, like obviously when you,
Yeah, well,
because it wouldn't obviously go down to your lungs if you just. Is it bum puffing? I don't know. I think it's called bum puffing. I was
I
gonna
don't
say,
know.
I was
Probably
going to
like
say
a bad
Google
lungs.
it, but I don't know if that will come up with the right thing if you say bum puffing.
yeah, bum pump. Oh,
Did it go poof? Did it go poof? No. So I'm not going to call it bum puffing because I don't know if I've done bum puffing before. Probably not.
yeah, but like you're saying that, like I've looked for bumpers on the floor.
Yeah, that's
Like
when,
bumpers
if you
is-
do that, I think in my head it might sound mean, but just quit. Like
If you're looking for
you know,
bumpers,
in my
just
experience,
quit.
I see. Obviously, I work at a bar and a pub, and like people come and check ashtrays. I feel bad for them. Like if I had smokes, I'd give it to them. Obviously,
Yeah.
there's one dude I wouldn't because he grabs ashtrays and just chucks them around, makes a mess, and swears at customers.
Yeah, no, I don't want that.
But I think, in his defence, he actually has mental health problems. Where I've just asked him, I'm like, please don't come around here anymore, respectfully, and obviously asked him to leave and stood in front of customers with him throwing stuff at him. But we called the police. He was obviously not dealt with. They were just told him that if he comes to the premise again, he will be arrested in a sense. So he was asked to stay away, and haven't really seen him since.
But like, just giving him a stern warning.
Yeah, and I haven't seen him since. So.
No,
Um,
that's good.
Yeah, so he's staying away, and hopefully he gets the help he needs to get. Because, yeah, it was like at a point, if I was maybe not with the knowledge I have now, I probably would have been like,
Fuck that cunt.
yeah, pretty
Go
much,
beat that cunt.
yeah, pretty much like what an idiot. Oh, look
Yeah.
at him, he's a looper. Because
Drunk cunt.
some of the things he was saying, he wasn't even drunk.
Yeah,
Like-
just a looper.
He had no shoes, and you could just see that he wasn't right. And,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I think the police said they know who he is, and they said he's actually got something wrong with him. He's actually had a real bad accident, and
Yeah.
obviously that may have something to do with the way he acted. But yeah, like I said, without that knowledge, I would have been like first person, like when I was younger, I used to be like happy to kick off like at any point. Where now I'm a bit more older and my body can't handle it. No,
you old.
Heading out to walk out there, chasing down with my
mate.
But yeah, so like I think with that knowledge, it's helped me a lot to think that whole bias, like we spoke about bias earlier today and stuff like that, like that whole bias side. Like obviously I would have judged him thinking he was just an idiot and he had like just a bad attitude where he actually may have a serious problem and maybe might be medicated and haven't had his meds and stuff like that. So it kind of all made sense at that point where now, and I also spoke to one of our brothers, Tyson, about something. It was, I won't say too much.
We're going to get Tyson on here.
As it's a
Tyson's
touchy
another
subject and me and him just spoke about. But there was a point where he told me a situation and I said, but if you didn't have the knowledge that we learned in the last year and a half, how do you think you would have dealt with that? And he said, honestly, Kaine, he looked me directly in the eyes and he was like, I would have hit the cunt. Yeah, that's what he said. Sorry about the language.
Yeah, but, no, definitely.
He honestly, and that's how I feel sometimes. But then it's good for you, man. And I believe mental health should be. I reckon, like you talk about what is it? Phys ed and not phys ed. What's the other one? The other one, what you learn about in like school. What's that? Health education.
Oh, health ed, yeah.
I reckon a lot of health education should talk a lot about mental health. I reckon.
But like,
you never really hear about that though.
Yeah,
you know, and that's where kids experience a lot of things. Because obviously, when you're younger, I remember being a kid or a teen and saying some hurtful stuff to some other kids, like, and it's nasty. It was nasty shit, like nasty stuff, like.
You don't have to bring it up now, but then you're talking about the health education stuff. From my experience, we only learnt that 1 hour a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're learning what we learnt through learning about mental health or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't learn that stuff 1 hour a week. It takes a lot longer, a lot more. You got to get into them conversations. And some of them conversations have questions that you might not even think up yet at that young age.
But you know when you have subjects and stuff like that, so that's where I thought we had it 2 times a week, or was it once a week?
Well, we only had it once a week.
Well, maybe it was once a week. Maybe
but
but I think in a
we
sense,
didn't go to school at different
obviously we talk about healthy eating. Like, yeah, that's good. Obviously, because we benefit from healthy eating. Sex education, practicing safe sex, the right way to do it, consensual, all that type of stuff. What else do we learn about in health? But I thought your brain's part of your body and it's part of your health, you know, mental health, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, where I maybe explaining a few things on mental illness or even bringing up mental illness where you may have, obviously, like you said earlier, with me and you talking, we spoke about suicide. A lot of people are, oh yeah, we don't talk about that though.
Yeah, taboo subject.
Where I believe it should be put out there a bit more. Because some people do believe like if you speak about it, that puts ideas in their head. Where, yeah, that's true, but if you speak about it in the right way, where it's okay to have them feelings and stuff like that, where people sometimes they think, oh, I've had them feelings, oh, that's terrible, I shouldn't tell anyone, and they keep that to themselves. Where there is actually them resources out there and they can speak about it.
Yeah, and like what we learnt, the thoughts and ideas doesn't result in actions. It could just be thoughts. They could come in and then go out. Might never think about them again. They might come back in next time you're having a bad situation.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, the word suicide and talking about them touchy subject should be opened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, not speaking for both of us, but both of us had them thoughts on our own, and we've certainly like gotten more information about that through the course. And just as you said before, us 2 years ago would have dreamed to be in this position with this knowledge and how we act about things, how we think about things.
Because I think that would be like me as as a person. I like to think I'm a likable person, but I think if I had this knowledge and the way I act now and probably the last 2 years and the way I present myself now is a lot better than what I did to maybe 10 years ago as a 19-year-old or something like that. Where, you know, it's I wish I had that, because I think I probably could have got into this a lot earlier.
Yeah,
and be
definitely.
Maybe, obviously, a bit more ahead of what I am now, where I can have that more time, obviously having kids and stuff like that. To, you know, I spoke to my son about, he said, you know, obviously all the stuff that we've talked about, like where the stuff I just went through. I've recently just been in touch with my kids and everything's working out. And he asked me, Dad, why were you not around? And I said, son, to be honest, Dad wasn't right in here. He goes, what do you mean? And I said, well, I was sick. He's like, what do you mean? I said, my mind was sick. I wasn't healthy. I wasn't in a good way. I was sick.
Yeah, and you're putting it in them simple terms for your kid.
For him to understand that the reason why I wasn't around at them times and the way I was acting, the way I did things.
Mentally unhealthy at the time.
Yeah, I wasn't right. So I spoke to him and I was like, look, we can talk about this another time, as we were going out to do something.
Yeah.
And I said, you can talk to me about it any other time. I said, but today we'll talk about it, not now, we'll talk about it later. And if you have any questions, talk to me then. Which I think he kind of got that, you know, obviously I take medication now and stuff like that, where it kind of helps me in a way. And I explained that to him, and it does help me a lot.
Honestly. Yeah, it helps me too. I take antidepressants.
Yeah, so it was hard for me to talk about that to my son, but at a point where it's kind of like what we do, it's kind of like, well, I have to practice what I preach. And I have to put it in a terminology where he'd understand. I can't be sitting there going, yeah, Dad's got anxiety and bad depression, son, so that's why I wasn't around, and the things that I did was this, and this, and explain that whole. So I just kind of said, you know, I wasn't right here, where, you know, where I pretty much never had that thought. I know it sounds bad now, but like that whole thought of being around and actually doing stuff for my kids, where
like learning a different thought process.
Yeah, in a sense. So actually learning about this gave me a whole lot more the way I treat people, the way I look at things now. I know there's options in things that I do. So, you know, you add the pros and cons up. That's another big thing, adding, taking on, going, well, this is what I want to do. Like I did want to do that, but like I told you, obviously you got into it because I asked you to do it with me. And you were keen on it as well, so.
Yeah, I was more than happy to do it like with you, but then I was doing it like for my own reasons too. Yeah. And it was like,
it wasn't to go in there and fix ourselves. It was just more to learn about it. So
and like learn about what we have, and also help people in our situations. Because if you don't have them experiences with them certain thoughts and ideas, not just suicide, but like anxiety, depression, you know, like stuff like that. You can't help anyone if you don't have any experience in it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like a couple of our teachers have said, you know, some of the best, you know, have a wacky way of thinking. They're not straight, you know, square boxes that help everyone. They're
people who have suffered probably worse in situations than what me or you have ever. Like we don't try to compare, but in a sense they may have. There's like times where we spoke about people that I've seen and actually met doing the thing where somebody was like, they were addicted to drugs at one point, they had multiple suicide attempts, things like that. And then this person is one of the people that obviously coming in and teaching us, and like, I'm thinking like, how can you be teaching? Like in my head when we first experienced it, I was thinking, how can you be teaching this, what you've done? And then in a sense where I started to learn, going, well, he's experienced this. So for somebody to experience, they know within their heart and what they've dealt with themselves, so they can express it in ways of where they've got the help and where
more relatable and individualized.
Yeah, exactly. So if I was to sit there and go, oh yeah, so Dewey, what I want you to do is go out on that field and kick goals today.
Yeah.
I've never played footy in my life, right? Yeah. But I'm going to tell you how to play footy. Yeah. I've read a book on footy. That's how you're going to play.
Yeah. Well,
so I know you kick the ball in that goals, and I know you hair pass. you can't throw the ball, otherwise that's a free kick. So in a sense, I can read it, but you know, there's obviously skill, training, all that comes into it, and obviously having knowledge about footy, you know, and you can't obviously teach something that you've never been through.
Yeah.
Like, I think everyone at some point, regardless if you have either, what would you say, like not a luxury, like a wealthy family or anything, at some point somebody's going to feel down at a point in their life.
Yeah.
You know, you might be wealthy, but you know, you may have a breakup or a bad accident where you may lose a limb or something. So that there,
Yeah, you could be the most fortunate
losing
person
a
in the
limb
world.
may do a lot to your mental health. You know, you can't catch a ball, or what if you're a footy star and make money and you lose a limb, and then
Yeah,
can't
especially
do
if
the
you...
stuff you love. You know, like that's
Definitely.
your job in a sense. So like a lot of ways, and a lot of different people experience different things and take it differently as well. Where, say, I may get upset about something, and then Dewey would be like, "No, that's nothing."
Yeah.
You know, everyone takes everything different. So mental health isn't just a certain thing that you obviously feel. Like,
Yeah.
like, oh, you feel it, but like obviously you may not feel the same way as I do on that subject, or what's
Yeah,
hurting me.
even if we have the same like diagnosis or whatever, I know that's a big word, but like if I've got anxiety and you've got anxiety, doesn't mean we feel the same stuff.
No.
You know what I mean? And they're the questions that sort of got answered when we did this course, isn't it?
Yeah, everything's
Like just because
different.
someone has depression and another person has depression doesn't mean they're experiencing the same stuff. They're experiencing similarities
Yeah,
in there, but they're not experienced like, you know what I mean?
yeah. It's just like having different symptoms.
Yeah,
Like
but
I'm-
it's still the same. Like,
Like
it
an
comes under
antibody-
the same title.
Like
but
an
it's not-
antibody
Yeah,
either can give you the runs, or you could be constipated from. You don't know. You might be constipated, I might have the runs. I'm shit and pack, and you're like, how the fuck are you doing that? Oh,
Yeah.
well, these tablets are working. They're not working for me because I'm blocked this shit up. You know, I'm blocked. But yeah, so that there on the mental health side, like, yeah, I thought that would be a good little touch in there, throw in a bit of self-experience and stuff like that. But yeah, just remember, it's always good to talk. Like, a lot of my stuff and my past, I held a lot of things in personally, and I found a lot of that probably wasn't the right way to do it. I still kind of do it a bit, but I'm learning in a sense. And that whole learning about mental health, I think, kind of, like I said, gave me options, gave me a thought where I can go about it this way, but I know where that goes because it's put me in a bad situation. Why not?
yeah,
And this is where stepping out of that comfort zone, like, it's very daunting. And like I said, when you come to that course with me, the day we went to go together, I literally was in the car, we drove there, and I literally, once Dewey got out of the car, he's like, "You ready?" And I'm like, yeah. And I felt like just shutting his door on him and taking off. I didn't want to be, it was something I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
and
no.
this is like dead set. I haven't talked about this much to anyone. It's something I really wanted to do, but I was so scared.
yeah.
I always thought, in a sense, I was going to fail. And, you know, coming up into that end bit, I had no...
Yeah, that comes into that self-sabotage we were learning
I kinda
about.
just-
Like, you know you can achieve it,
That
but you're
last week,
scared
yeah.
of what comes from it.
Yeah, I'm like,
You
and
know
then
what I mean?
I had you, and obviously one of our mates, Tyson, like I said, he rung me and he's like, "Bro, get here now. Like, I don't care what you said. This is our last week." The last week I nearly didn't rock up, obviously, like...
Yeah, well, I told Tyson and Mariah and Waylon and all that
I
there.
was
and
struggling.
then-
I was struggling.
and
I
then-
was nervous. I was so scared to... I've never achieved anything, you know. I dropped out at year 9. I've done, like, little things. Like, I've never had anything this big, so... At a point where you said, I was kind of like... I was so scared.
yeah,
I was
because
so
you
scared
don't
to
know
get
where
it.
it's going to lead, man.
And I was like, obviously, nothing wrong coming out of it. Like, that I was pretty much past.
Yeah.
It's just...
Don't finish.
I just don't know what it was. I was just so scared to... I don't know, I couldn't believe it myself, so I was kind of like backing off, like, this isn't real. Like,
Yeah.
it was hard to take. And then once I did it, like, and yeah,
Glad
kinda-
he did it. Fucking
yeah,
graduated, dog.
yeah, so that there was something big for me. Like, it may not be big to others, and that's why I want to pursue and obviously push a bit harder and get into that field. And at the moment, I've got a plan for me now, but I want to be in that field.
Yeah, man, stick to that plan. As long as you realise that it might not go the way you actually planned, but actually driving to that goal, doing actions that you think would get you to that goal, is just going to be as fulfilling as getting there.
Yeah.
Like Kobe always said, you got to fall in love with the process, not the championships.
Yeah.
You got to love the work, and then you can reap the reward.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
take risks.
Yeah.
Because if you don't take that risk and step out of your comfort zone, you're just going to be in that comfort zone forever. You might feel comfortable there and nervous to step out, but honestly, I believe just take that step. Like, as long as it's something positive and you know can benefit you, or something that you're trying to do to make something better, like, give it a crack. Like, honestly, it's good. And once you do it a few times, it starts to become easier each time, which I've noticed. Like, I was very, like, job interviews and things like that, I'd be so nervous and
don't even know how to dress, bro. I'll be sweating just sitting in the job interview.
Yeah, and like things like that, I would just like self-sabotage and not rock up. I've done that to plenty of places where I have an interview, pretty much got the job, or I ruin it for myself. Which
I've done that myself. I went to TAFE trying to be a mechanic. Everything was going good, and then I just stopped going because, like, I don't know. I didn't know if I was succeeding. Didn't know if I was failing.
Self-doubt.
Yeah, just that self-doubt, and like, because I knew I wasn't going to be good in the classroom talking about cars, because I'm a very hands-on learner. But like, learning this mental health, we did a lot of discussion talk. And if we did that in the automotive class, I think it would have stuck around a bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it just come to a point where it's like, well, I'm not sure if I do this, or like, am I good, am I not? Like, what's going to be the next step? Like, where do I go from here? Just lacking that confidence to take that leap of faith, you know?
Yeah, and I understand that. I've dealt with that most of my life, like through that area where I've just self-sabotaged and gone, you know what, I'm not going to take the risk because I'd doubt myself and be like, you're not even going to get it. Like, you're not even going to get that job. Like, why are you even going there? And they called you up because something's appealing to them.
Yeah.
So, that's, I never thought of it that way. I was always like, they just want to know if I'm going to, like, you know what I mean? So I always would be getting jobs through somebody obviously connected in there where it was kind of like a sure thing. But, kind of now I'm a bit more assertive in myself. Like, I'm a bit more confident to make a move and things like that. But I still have my moments, but it's gotten better.
Yeah, and like this particular course, I got a gauze here, wrap me up here. But now, like, this particular course gave me the confidence to try stand up. I don't think I would have ever entered that competition if I didn't do this course, just to trust the process and like have faith. You know what I mean? Like, obviously my cousin's Fabian Woods, a professional comedian now, that touring and all that there. But like, he was like, oh, you should check it out, man, you should try it. But if I didn't do this course, I probably would have never had the confidence just to send that nomination form in, you know?
Yeah.
And then when like I heard back, I was all nervous, had butterflies, like, fuck, I haven't even written anything. Like, I think I'm funny. I'm funny looking, right?
That's where that self-doubt came in.
Yeah, that's when that self-doubt
I believe I'm funny, but what if I get up there and no one laughs?
Yeah, and then we're big fans of comedy. That's going to be funny down the line.
Yeah.
But you're going to feel awful right then and there, you know?
Exactly.
So, like, I really want to succeed. So, I trust the process. Like, getting support from Kaine and Fav and, like, my family, like, brothers and sisters and that there. Like, it really... Like, I really wanted to take that opportunity. I wanted to take that next step, you know?
Yeah.
And, ended up in the competition. Ended up winning that particular competition in Fremantle at the Fremantle Arts Centre, and then I think it was about a month later, 6 weeks later, I was on a plane. I had to wearing a mask. Not a big fan of flying, to start with. Then I had to have a mask on.
Restrict your breathing even more.
And then, obviously you can see we're not the smallest people, right? But airplanes have you sitting like this here next to someone. And you want to be polite, it's a new way, you like that air, but it's just, I need my bubble. I need my little bubble, you know?
Why wear the mask if they're sitting on your lap?
Yeah, what?
Just tell me what you want for Christmas already.
No, I'm not telling that Santa ever again what I want for Christmas.
You got up limping. Naked eye. No.
It was a black Santa.
And he didn't even have a beard. Or reindeer. He was just on a park bench. And asked if I wanted along.
He said, ho, motherfucker. Oh, shit. No. But then, yeah, on a plane to Melbourne. And yeah, that was like seeing the stage, performed at the Melbourne Forum, seeing the stage, you know, going through my material. Worked with like Dane Simpson, Kevin Capignery. They helped me with my set like during rehearsals. And like that gave me confidence too, because they were like, you know, a couple of bits of you funny, you know. They're like, oh, on a set you want to start big, you want to end big. So if you got like 2 good jokes, try and move them like really. Yeah. And I just soaked it all in, you know, like very appreciative of like, they're big time comedians. They didn't have to talk to me. That was only my second time on stage.
Yeah.
Like,
so they kind of bring you under the wing. They want to see you succeed. So they were a good role model in a sense.
Yeah, good mentors, like, because that's what they were there for, to mentor us.
That's what you want too.
Yeah.
You know? I think as them being like older and been through it and actually seeing, in a way, they probably see themselves in you where they were younger, especially being Indigenous as well. I find, well, this is speaking for myself, and I've spoke to a few people about it where this is where that whole mental health, that confidence in yourself to make a move, you know, and actually do something for yourself instead of getting somebody to hold your hand to do it.
Yeah.
And then see you go over there. Obviously, you went over with Fabian and that as well, but he'd be there for you. But it wasn't like he's holding your hand going, no.
Yeah.
This is where other people would kind of bring you in and be like, hey, don't be shy. He's here, I'm here, everyone's here. So it was a very good support, as well as you're going out to make people laugh and entertain.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it, my job, you're going to do yours, but I'm here for you to help you along the way.
Yeah, and like I really felt that from like the mentors, but also the other contestants. You know what I mean? Like I got along with Jamali Dawson and Chris Dawson too, but Toshi on TikTok. But yeah, like I felt we just bounced off each other. We were talking about our routines and like what we think might be funny and what we could do better and all that there. And also like Ben Moody and Belinda and, you know, all that there. Dave Human was there. And like, it was just, it didn't feel... True, this got stuff up recording. True. Lily! Come on! Come on!
Get over here, lay down. Come on, big girl.
Technical difficulties. The dogs are barking. Oh.
But yeah.
Nah, but yeah, so like even the contestants were very like welcoming and all that there, and helped us with our material, and
that's good.
And like it felt like a competition, but then it didn't.
It was more like just going out and having fun.
Yeah, going out having fun as a team almost. Like let's go give them the best show we can as a unit.
Yeah. So in a sense, it wasn't like your show, his show at each time. It was like, this is our show.
Yeah. It was the Deadly Funnies
well.
2021. That's, as a team, we bring that, you know?
Yeah. No, and that's good that they, in a sense, because it kind of makes you feel, like you said, a team, and feel like it's not just you there.
Yeah.
It's them as well. So they're probably at one stage obviously felt the same way as you did, nervous and, you know,
shit the bricks like a landscaper.
Bricklayer.
Bricklayer. Oh, well.
Bricklayer. Landscape, what, you planting trees?
Nah, I'm dropping concrete down. Pouring concrete.
But
Yeah, no, and it was like, it was an awesome experience to like go to the Melbourne Comedy Festival. That's the mecca for Australian comedy, you know.
Yeah.
Jim Jeffries, Carl Barron, Jamoan, Umbilical Brothers, like Kevin Capinnery, Dane Sims, all of them have gone through there. Like that's when you know you're big time.
Yeah,
You know, you're
doing something right.
Yeah, it's the largest comedy festival in the Southern Hemisphere. Like,
Yeah.
the world's not flat, guys. Just putting that out there. It's not. It's round like a sphere. But yeah, like it's the mecca. It's the grand final. It's the premiership. It's the Super Bowl. Like it was. I always thought I'd go as a fan, and to go there and have my own set.
And blow everyone.
Yeah. Blow everyone. Blow everyone kisses, that's what he meant.
Yeah, kisses.
Oh, true.
But yeah.
Yo, you should have been there, man. Like, cause we met up with Chris, Fabian, like, my brother Chris. Yeah, but we gotta go to Darwin.
Yeah, that'll be good. Go see him and his family.
Yeah. Alright, but fucking, just talking about Melbourne, like, going back to Melbourne there. The green room was up 3 flights of stairs. Bro, I'm chubby. I went up there like 2 or 3 acts before to make sure I could catch my breath again.
Like what? Why not just elevator or something?
Well, the elevator come up and then you like come out with the crowd, like.
I would have walked with the crowd.
But we're not all rock stars like you, Kaine.
No, I would have walked with the crowd and
we're
acted
not all
like I
rock
was
stars.
The person who worked on set, and then what do you mean walk with the crowd? Like.
No, like you gotta like walk in with everyone else. That's where the entry was.
I would have done that if it saved me going up flights of stairs. Like, you know me. If cardio was a food, I'd do it. I'd eat it. Yeah, I'd go for it. But it's not something that you get puffed out and I'm lazy. I don't get this body from doing cardio.
But you can eat and get puffed out too.
Yeah.
But
That's when I scoff my food. And heartburn.
Get them quickies.
But the main thing is probably do some sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of sport, what sport are you into, bro?
I play a bit of football, a bit of basketball, you know. I haven't really got into it this season, but definitely, you know, keen to get back into it this season. Started off basketball again. You know, I'm a big fan of the NBA. I've always tried to get in the NBL, but it's hard to know the dates and all that there. Like, the publicity team, not like chucking them under the bus or whatever, but I'm not on their pages. I don't like, you know what I mean? Where the NBA, everyone's got their own Twitter, their own Instagram, their own Facebook. Like, you can follow the players individually.
Yeah, not the whole team.
Yeah, and because they're on such a larger scale, it's YouTube's flooded with them. Fucking Facebook.
National. It's like
it's
worldwide.
Very worldwide. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I'd love for NBL, you know, to be that there. You know.
But that's just a different platform, like you said.
Yeah, and it's LaMelo. LaMelo Ball coming through. He skipped college and come and played in our system.
Yeah.
And yet he was taken, you know, first round at the NBA. So we're not the worst. We're actually a pretty good competition down here. It's like they're not on TV all the time, where NBA most likely to be on TV. They've got 32 teams playing each other to pick from. You know, there's got to be one on TV. And like, big fan of the AFL. There's 18 teams always playing each other at the end of the week. There's always something to watch. You know what I mean? Where the NBL is just a bit tricky for me to catch up on. And especially since I wasn't a big fan following it up. Like, I got into basketball quite late. You know what I mean? So I prefer playing it rather than watching it. But then I like watching the NBA highlights.
Yeah.
Like, just for the big names, the flashy stuff, like Steph Curry, big fan, and
Yeah, yeah.
But like, big fan of football. Cereal-y. God. Cereal. Cereal. Oh, bro.
That nearly got us in a fight at the pub when the Eagles and Hawthorn played. I remember I started it off, man.
Zero.
And then, yeah, some drunk guy played for the Eagles, didn't like it.
He didn't play for the Eagles, he went for the Eagles. He wished he played for the Eagles.
He wished.
We play for the Eagles. We, like, shit.
Play with the Eagles.
Play with the Eagles.
Nah, yeah. I don't. See, I wasn't ever a big AFL fan. I was always NRL. Loved the Broncos. Loved rugby.
But that's your main sport where you grew up, isn't it?
Yeah, that and footy.
Yeah.
That and footy. But I'd play footy at school and for the school, but never really got into it too much. Watching it and stuff like that. I remember when I was younger, I used to go for Freo when I was a lot younger, like 8 or 9. And
Yeah,
then,
same.
That was when like Stephen Coops and stuff like that played, and it was a while back, you know.
Yeah, you old.
And then I remember I moved back to Queensland with my dad and stuff like that, and then went on this footy camp through like the Oz kick up there, and pretty much we got picked from our island because I lived in the Torres Strait, and then we represented our island, and then we also went to represent the Torres Strait, so we had a Torres Strait Island team.
Oh, yeah.
And I got picked again, but I didn't go. Like, I just didn't go. I was just like,
You look like Motlop, that's why. I know. Like, hey, nah, I want that Motlop boy. Nah, he Peachey. Nah, I still want him. He look like him.
Nah, yeah, but that there was that I never really watched footy, and we had Brisbane Lions players come in, and
Yeah.
I didn't know who these fellas were. And
Yeah, we had a
got
couple
to meet
people
them,
coming
and
to school do that.
They actually like were good with me. Like when they were like, "Oh, come over here," and they kind of like they not saying they took a like, but they kind of like because of the kid I was just so hyper, and I think maybe they were just like, "This kid's off his head, like running around, he's hyper and doesn't shut up, but he's a cool kid." Because I was pretty cool when I was a kid. Nah.
Pretty
but
cool.
like, yeah,
That's cool.
well, I felt like they kind of was like, hey, yeah, and then I was good with them in like stuff like that. They gave me a couple like footy cards, a footy and stuff like that, and like stuff like that, you know, like which I didn't ask for, and a hat.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for it, but he gave me his hat and it was signed. That was pretty cool. I don't know where it is now. I don't even remember his name. But after that, because they were from the Brisbane Lions, I was like, oh yeah, started following the Lions, and that's when probably a year before, I think around maybe just before the 2000s, maybe a year or so then, possibly.
I was about 5 now.
Really?
1 and 96.
Oh wow. Yeah. Well, yeah, around like maybe around then. I can't remember exactly, but it was before they won the 2001, 2 and 3.
Oh, with Voss.
Yeah. But that's where I took a liking to Ackermanis.
Yeah.
Was like
Yeah, he was good. I caught the tail end of his career.
Jason Ackermanis, and then he moved to Bulldogs.
Entertaining though, entertaining player.
Oh man, he was a freak.
Yeah, entertaining player.
But I'd watch then, and then I'd get more into my rugby again, and then only a few years just before Chris moved to Darwin, we'd go up and watch the rugby and the footy at the High Wycombe Tavern.
Yeah.
We wouldn't even drink sometimes, you know. We'd just have maybe a beer or.
Yeah, but go on to watch footy.
We just watch the footy and the rugby because they were on 2 different TVs, but
Yeah.
next to each other, so we could watch it. And I was teaching him about rugby, and he was teaching me about footy.
Yeah.
But now, I'm more into footy than I barely watch rugby league anymore, man.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, it's not as.
Is that
appealing.
because of the big stars that you used to follow are gone now, like retired?
Not only that. Oh, there's still heaps in there, you know, but it's just more. I don't know. I take a liking to footy. I think a lot was to do with my son as well, getting into footy.
Yeah, growing
And
up.
then seeing him like footy, and then me go, you know what? So I started I took him to a game. He loved it, you know. My first ever game, I took him on. One of my brother boys, he actually played for Freo, and he got us the tickets to go. And like, I was thankful. And then my son had fallen in love with footy then. And after that, he wanted to play footy. He's like, I want to be like Uncle Brad. I want to be like Uncle Sonny. Like, he just claimed family. He's just
Yeah.
true black kid. That's my uncle. That's this. No relation, but good blokes. And
He look up like that too.
he just claim anyone. He'll claim anyone. But yeah. So that there was probably one of the highlights that actually got me and my son, and that drew that bond. Like, we've been to numerous footy games after that as well. And he plays footy now. He actually went to footy training today, and like, one of his other idols is like Eddie Betts, man. He just and he's always trying to do snaps. And I'm like, bud, just focus on getting that kick straight.
But Eddie does this.
Eddie doesn't do it like that, Dad. He does snaps from anywhere. Like, that's his like, you know, like,
that's the idol. That's the god there.
Yeah, and he's like that into footy. Like, he wants the haircuts like him.
Well, yeah, fuck. Talk
Not
about
the
that.
man bun. Not the man bun. Like,
Nah.
he's in this later generation. Like, the man bun.
Yeah, I haven't got a hair tie now, but definitely, like, did have the man bun. Like, it's, like, use the fringe and all that there when it's down, but definitely use the man bun when I'm playing sport, eh? But, like, there's some fucking horrendous hairstyles in AFL at the moment, bro. Have you seen them?
Yeah. The
Fuck
mullets.
it.
The mullets are terrible.
The skullets,
Like,
the fucking
The skullets.
dreadies.
You know, that's the worst thing. My son's got a skullet. I'm like, bro, like,
You're just jealous because he got hair, what?
Yeah. And that's what I say to him. I'm like, son, get all the haircuts in now while you can. I don't care what you look like. Get them in now, because if you're anything like me, you're going to lose your hair at 27. No.
27.
No, I'm starting
you
like
57?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well then.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Great.
it's in our genes, and he looks exactly like me, so he's got a very good chance of being bald at 29.
Yeah.
So I just said to him, get all them deadly haircuts and all them poxy ones in too. Like, one of your ones now is poxy. Dad doesn't like your haircut like that, but it's your hair and you have to wear it. He's like, I don't care, Dad. Hair grows back. If I want to change it, I can change it. I'm like,
Yeah, but your hair don't grow back.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, it grows back till you get to my age, and then you got a natural mullet anyway. So don't even worry about wearing a mullet now.
You can get a mullet later.
For the rest of your life.
You can get a mullet later.
Yeah. And so I'm like, bro, just change it, because that's something you're going to have in the future, whether you like it or not. So piss the mullet off and try something cool, you know?
Do you get discounts on haircuts?
No. No, I don't. That's the worst. Like dead set, I'll tell you now. But when my son went in and actually got his haircut last, I actually took him before he went on his holiday to Darwin. He got the skullet. And he got his haircut, I think it was like $25 or something along the lines like that. And I literally got a 0 all over, and just him to line here, trim under here, like, just, and tidy it up, like, so you didn't have all the scraping hairs sticking out. Guess how much that shit cost?
Well, you said 30, $35?
$40.
$40.
$40. That's like $8 off a carton of beer. Like, that's it. And they only offer you one beer in this place, which I don't judge yous, but you make your money. Like, and like, nothing against it, but $40 is a lot just to shave my head.
If I had a barbershop and bald people come in, like, no offense, like, they thinning up top, and they just come in and it's like, no, I want a 0 all the way, just get it done. I'll be like, no worries, sit in the chair, get it for free. If you want it just all shaved off, I'll do it for free. It's going to take 3 minutes.
I do a package, like, I went to this one, like, where I used to live just out in Belmont there.
Yeah.
And they'd trim my beard, line it, and if I wanted a razor, like, they'd do the full razor on the back of the neck, everything.
Yeah, clean
and
cut.
line it, everything. Give you the beard oil and stuff like that, everything. That was $35 if you wanted the full thing. Otherwise, they just line my beard, shave my hair, and trim the sides. That was $25.
Why don't you go back there?
Well, I didn't think it'd be that expensive. I forgot how expensive it was. So
Yeah.
when I go to shave my head, I'll be going back there. And they're good dudes. Like, you know, they're good people there.
The barbershop, that's where it's at, man.
And I can kind of walk in and they remember me and they're like, sit down.
Like,
Anything you want to change? Same as usual. No worries. We'll just do the yeah, we're done.
Yeah,
they don't need to shave the top, you know.
That thing you said the other week where you went into the barber shop there.
Oh yeah, so when I sat down before he done it, I was like, oh, just trim the top, like just a little bit off the top, thanks. I said I kind of like the length, and he kind of stood there and was like, and I was looking at him in the mirror, so I'm looking direct, and I can see his face, and he was like looking, and then he looked at me and started smiling. And he's like, and kind of nodded his head like, yeah, you're bald. So we had that understanding. He thought I was going to have long hair because I wear a hat all the time. People are like, you go bald because you wear hats. No, my dad barely wore hats. And look at him.
He's bald.
But yeah, so that was pretty much it, yeah. But the man bun, it's a horrendous one. Same as the skullet.
If I had a hair tie right now, I'll show you how elegant my hair looks.
I don't know. Can we get a hair tie? Anyone got a hair tie?
Anyone in the crowd?
Yeah, just chuck it up. No, there's no one.
We don't even have a camera, dude. It's on a tripod.
I wonder if it looked legit, like they thought that actually people were sitting there watching us.
We gotta watch that back.
We don't have that. But hey, yeah, Michael, yeah, no, not the ball, the hair tie. Yeah. Or Kobe.
Oh, watch the drinks. Watch the drinks.
We got Uncle Bob over here. Uncle Elvis, Uncle Wayne.
Alright, we're in the men's shed. This is anyone in our circle of friends knows this location.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is quite unique, iconic to anyone who knows us, you know.
We partied here plenty of times.
Plenty of times. And now it's our studio.
Yeah.
This is it. This is where the magic happens, buddy.
On this couch. Change sheets.
Nah, the sheets are stapled in. They don't.
Stapled?
That's why it's white now.
I thought it was just faded from the sun. Wasn't this out there?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I hope it was faded because of the sun.
Yeah, no, we have to do some moving around to get the studio looking nice. But no, fucking.
This is our green room.
Yeah, no
Without
stairs.
the
No stairs.
Yeah. Just a lip in the concrete before you step into the shed.
And the green grass. That's the green grass there.
Yeah.
Well, besides the dirt patch.
Yeah.
But we don't live in the dirt patch now.
Yeah. No dirt patch.
Oh, fucking. One thing that happened today, bro. Just come off the top of my head, bro. Like, I was coming back from my partner's place, right? Coming down Road Highway. If you know that, you know that. You don't, you don't. Coming down Road Highway, bro, and I needed to go to the toilet, bro. I was busting, man. I only done it before I left too, so it was only like 20 minutes had gone past.
So you're peeing like a pregnant woman?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a belly proof.
Were you drinking at the point?
I only just had one drink, because you don't drink and drive.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I only had one drink. But yeah, I was...
Pepsi, that's what I was drinking earlier. Just so you know.
I've been sipping. But yeah, but
I've been drinking.
I've been drinking. But yeah, anyway, so fucking coming down on Road Highway there, and it was in the fast lane, and then he come over to the slow lane, stopped right in front of me, man, and I'm busting to go to the toilet. So I just, motherfucking move, man. Like, just, I put my finger up at him and everything, bro. I got past him, indicating all that, as I just, you know, like the Undertaker when he come back, just straight out there though. No hand signal, no nothing, just straight.
Good old road rage.
Bro, fuck,
Road
man.
rage is terrible.
And then fucking, as I was coming in, like, oh, bro, I almost did a handbrake here as I was pulling up to the fucking... Lucky I didn't go on the grass, because there would have been two, like, big 11 straight down the grass, boy. Messed up the fucking garden bed and everything. But nah, jumped out, fucking ran out the back, pissed. Oh, bro, I almost pissed on my pants, man.
Yeah. I have the worst road rage. I'm pretty terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah. I don't know why, but like little things, like.
But you don't even drive fast or do anything illegal. You just have that road rage.
People who drive slow piss me off. Like,
Oh,
really,
definitely.
really bad.
Everyone who drives
Like, everyone get abused. Like, you know, I remember one time I was abusing this person just because they were driving. I couldn't see, it was dark, and I've like literally come to a point where I can overtake them, and I put my foot down, caught up to their window, and I kind of looked directly at them. But I'm on your side. I'm looking at them, and they've done the old, and I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, hey. It was an old lady, man, like really, and I felt bad because I was about to. I had.
We'll just run her off
You
the
know
road.
me, like
Run her
I was
off the
about to
road.
abuse her. You know, like, what are you fucking doing?
You dusty flappy.
No, I didn't. The whole reason I didn't say nothing.
You
because
wrinkly
she was an
old
lady.
bitch.
In my head, I was like, "Fucking old people, just hang your keys up, cunt." Sped off around it, but I didn't say it to her like I wanted to, but I didn't because she's a bit older. You know, you always got to try and respect elders. But I felt bad after.
She's your
took
age.
off. Yeah, I when I'm behind them, I'll go right up there, ask them, flash them with high beams, and do nasty shit like that. And I'm a spiteful person, so if they're driving like idiots and stuff, I'll go in front of them and slow down. And if they got to indicate, I'll do that. You know, I'm a prick like that. You know, and yeah, that's what type of person I am. Like, I'll sit there and cut someone off, and they'll be like beep, and I'll be like, oh, good. And you know, if I do something wrong, it's always their fault anyway. I'm like,
Yeah,
go.
it's always.
Yeah.
It's always. But like, wait, the people who like, they have driveways and all that, and they park on the line. Yeah, all good. I hate the people who leave their car right on the road, but the house is on a corner or something. Oh my!
When
If
you
I
used to
had,
pick me up from Belmont, how bad is it?
Yeah.
Or they park like that, and then you got like this much room on each side to get.
I was like,
one
hey,
way.
if I had a rhubarb or a bull bar, these cars getting flipped, they getting fucked up, like yo, boop boop. Like,
I always
oh my-
planned on saying, if ever I get a new car where I used to live, when I come down this street, I'm just gonna go bang, 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 and sideswipe the whole lot down the street, and then
Get all
have
the
my new
insurance.
car.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna like just park the car up and piss it off, get towed,
Yeah.
come get it. No one will know. But at my head, like that's what.
Yeah, bro, you
know,
you getting your old car.
I just hate. Well, I love driving, but
But the poxy thing is,
road rage is
the driveway's empty,
yeah.
and they still park on the road. Like, why don't you have such a good relationship with the person who fucking lives there that you can't pull in the driveway?
Or they pull up and it's like, man, you could just pull into the driveway.
Yeah, just fucking pull in, man.
I can't do it, eh? No, that's one of the worst. One of the worst. Road rage, and I'm terrible. Like even when I'm by myself, it's not like I only do road rage when I've got people in the car.
Yeah.
Like it's like I just.
Yeah, I was by myself. Like, come back before. I was just, whoa, you motherfucker! Like, oh, beep and all. Horn don't even work, bro. I'm out the window going beep, beep, beep,
Yelling, beep, 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 beep.
beep, motherfucker, beep.
Move your hole. No.
With your old beep, 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 beep.
But yeah. No.
Fucking.
Can't stand road rage. Which I got the worst. I even got one of them things. Remember you asked me, and I have like one of them forearm things.
Yeah, them spring.
Like, people would piss me off that bad. Like I got pretty good when I had that. Hey, like I didn't really yell. If somebody would cut me off or drive slow or merge wrong, and like try to speed up before, we're coming to a one lane, start to go one lane, and I go to indicate, and they kind of push in. It's like, why? Why just wait and go behind me? Like it's a zipper effect.
It's
you know?
gonna be the
Kinda-
fastest. Like,
Yeah, we're gonna sit there and go up and slow down. I was like, man, just follow the, you know, it's like a zipper. You zip in, boom, behind each other. And every time I just use this forearm.
that's why you got big forearms, or you
Yeah.
play with yourself.
Yeah. No, it's mostly playing with. No. Forearm tensor thing. But yeah, pretty much I just squeeze it. And then it got to a point where sometimes they'd still piss me off and I'd be squeezing. And then we get caught at the red light because we've come to a stop.
Yeah.
And then it's like, if you just went behind me, we could have made that light.
Yeah.
And then we pull up at a light and they're about to turn left. And it's like, you sped up to turn left. Like, you're about to go next. But you slowed me down. I'm going straight. I need to be somewhere. So I'll sit there and tense it and just make the eye contact with them.
Not like they need to be there. You need to be somewhere.
you just sit there squeezing this and just pretending it's their throat.
You dirty, stinking learner driver.
Yeah.
You ugly. Don't want to say it.
But that was the feeling. Like I'd just squeeze the shit out of this thing, and like picture their face getting punched or something. It was a bit. Yeah, it worked though. It worked.
And it helped you relax. So you could
and it was beneficial because you get a workout from it.
Yeah.
Which was most of the time I just drive with it. I've got my hand on this thing and on the steering wheel. Somebody will come past and I'm just like, they'll be like, don't worry.
You wait.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried. High beam. I'm not worried now. Not worried at all. I can see fine. I can see fine. I'm not worried at all. I'm putting this shit down and I'm going to drive with a smile. I can see fine. I don't know about him, but I can. And it's in the middle of the day.
They're not even working. The sun too bright.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought this was a good idea and good little take on it, and we had some pretty good convos today.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, I think this is a great first episode, man.
Yeah.
Was it dribbling shit? Is dribbling shit?
Pretty much, yeah. Dewey's, what was it? Dewey's
debrief.
Debrief, yeah.
And then Mum come out and said, "Oh, I thought you said Dewey dribble shit."
Yeah.
But
Mostly
then,
that. Mostly that.
Should we have a poll of Dewey debrief or Dewey dribble shit?
You know, for a fact, I'm gonna vote for the Dewey's drink.
Dewey drink shit. Drinking shit. I'm dripping shit. Dripping. What?
You need to get that checked. Nah. But
I've got to add on doctor for that.
yeah, well, maybe if you comment and see this video, maybe put something in if you make it this far through. But I advise you to watch.
Yeah, like, share, fucking.
And if you have any questions, feel free to message him, and we can maybe talk about it on our next one. And that'd be another good subject to his show, actually, because I'm not always going to be on it. But like with other people, he could ask questions and get maybe their opinion, and if I come back on, I'll be happy to share if you have any other questions direct for me. But even some of them questions we may use through, well, he may use, I keep saying we because we're on it now.
Yeah,
but
no, definitely.
That'd be a good idea, I reckon. So
yeah, like just I don't want to say DM, but yeah, DM me, comment on I got a comedy page up at the moment, Duane Williams Perth comedian. He hasn't got his set up yet, so any questions for Kaine, just send it to me. I'll get them over to him. Cheers for coming on, man.
Oh, good work.
Cheers, bro. Let's fucking cut, check, take, print.
Yeah.
Let's get boogie.